welcome Dominic to another Workshop Wednesday.
It's crazy that you were here like a few weeks ago.
Saw Dominic's debut performance as the baker in Into the Woods in New York, and that was amazing.
And you had your first soup dumpling.
And I had my first soup dumpling at 1 a.m. in New York, and it was amazing. Dominic and I also in the recording studio, and then Dominic and I recording an acoustic song. So that's proof that we're actually together in New York.
I feel like everything that I was working on basically wrapped up that weekend. The first one I had just auditioned, and then the second one was like a little bit into rehearsals, and now the show's been over for a couple weeks, and that's been really weird. And also like bringing music to life that we had written or at least worked on this summer, but like one of the songs has existed for like a year now. We did the Feels Like We Only Go Backwards cover. That was a lot of fun. So now I'm really just been spending the past couple weeks resting, but also like shifting my focus to kind of the next phase of things.
What is the next phase of things, Dominic?
Songwriting in all aspects. Free write, which was a concept that I talked about in our previous Workshop Wednesdays that I finally done a couple of. It has been great to force myself to write music. I didn't know if I had the ability to write interesting songs. I felt that I kind of got into a rut for a bit where once I knew all the chords, that some of the creativity of songwriting like disappeared for a bit.
Alex Turner kind of got stale, I think, with guitar, and that's why for the last two albums he wrote them mainly on piano, which is not like his main instrument. Do you think maybe switching instruments or like another way? I think right now a good switch up and use it as much as you can is giving yourself an hour and timing it and pressure and see what happens.
Anthony, I just created this folder, the Peace Space, and the goal of this, the Peace Space, is where we used to practice. I told Anthony before he or kind of after he left, when we were discussing how great it was to play together again, that I think we need to have a system in which we can drop random fragments of songs that we're trying to write into this folder, and that either of us can kind of pick up these fragments and try to build a song.
I'm very excited. I actually have a voice memo that I might clean it up a bit, but I had today, and then that's perfect though. It's like whatever ideas for melody, songs, verses, lyrics, no verse twos. We won't have any of those, but we can combine.
No verse twos.
We have.
There's never a verse two. I'm gonna go through all 10 Workshop Wednesdays and pull out all of the goals that we set for ourselves this year.
Another thing that maybe people have noticed from Dominic and I is that, like, even though we produce good things, so and maybe this is the second thing we can talk about. Dominic released a great free write last week, and it was awesome. I watched it late, to be honest. He sent it to me early, but I couldn't see it before he sent it to me, and then he posted it. I didn't see it, and then I saw it the day after. And it was an amazing song that you wrote in 30 minutes because you spent 30 minutes on of the hour writing another song that you scrapped. And it's like you and I are both super hard on ourselves, where even if you produce something great, like you might think it's shit. And I think that's the micro term. So like every small project that we do, it's not perfect and we're never happy with it. It feels like, for the most part, I feel like that's the case. And maybe we don't have to go there or not, but like validation from one another is helpful, and bouncing ideas off of each other and even telling each other our goals and then executing is really helpful. And I think it might be cathartic as well if we go through all the goals and then it's kind of like objectively our past is speaking to us, because who knows, like I think we've hit maybe more than what we wanted to and set out to do, and we should be happy with that, because that is 100%. Awesome.
Because I know there are probably 2 or 3 that I didn't do, but there are probably 5 or 6 that like we didn't even talk about that happened. You can't take it at the face value of, oh, I didn't do everything I said I wanted to do, because you kind of have to look at what did we do, and maybe the next 2 weeks, kind of let's each make a list of what we have accomplished. Because it might be good to compare it to our past selves.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of surprises along the way. That's for sure.